A year. Although a year can go by pretty quickly, a lot can transpire in a year. It's actually a pretty sizable amount of time. You could meet a girl and maybe marry her. If you're a girl, you can meet a dude, or if you're a dude, you can meet a dude and maybe get married. Me, I'm not getting married anytime soon, but hey, people do that sort of stuff. Might settle down with someone, get someone pregnant, now you got a kid running around. Only takes 9 months, my friends. I'm not dealing with none of that sort of stuff, but people do things like that. You can get a new job, a new career, move to a new state, get a new apartment, get a new house. A lot of things can change in 1 year. It's a sizable amount of time. Or you could just let that year pass you by. You could say, well, this is the year that I'm going to do something, and then you just sit on your ass and you don't do a damn thing. But you tell yourself that. You tell other people, this is going to be my year. This is my time to shine. But you're just lying to yourself. And it's okay. Everyone lies to themselves sometimes. But when somebody lies to you, you get a little bit upset. Get a little bit angry. You want some answers. Why are you lying to me, pal? There's no reason to lie. And it's time we hold Nintendo accountable for lying to millions and millions of people. They straight up lied to you about Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. You damn right. I am not letting this go. Why would I let this go? From the get-go, when this game released in the state that it was in, what did I constantly say? I don't expect any sort of significant upgrades to the performance to actually happen. Nintendo then came out along with the Pokemon company and said, no, we're working on things. We hear players' feedback. We're going to be changing some things. And everyone latched on to this. CRGT, you're wrong, pal. The Pokemon company cares about us. Nintendo cares about Pokemon, and thus they care about us. And they're going to fix this game. They're going to make sure there's not as many glitches, and they're going to fix the performance so that maybe it'll run at a solid 30 frames per second. Maybe it'll actually look like a game from the PS3, Xbox 360 era instead of just a glorified 3DS game. And I always said to you, I don't believe them. And all these people, all these other content creators, all these other people said, well, if they don't follow through, we're going to call them out. We're going to hold them accountable. We're not going to be spoon-fed the BS that they're putting down. No, sir. We'll spit it back in their face and demand answers. Yet, it's been over a year. Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet have received many patches. The patches don't really address performance issues. You see, that was kind of the whole thing. Everyone was saying that a specific performance patch was coming to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And I said, no, there will be no performance patch for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Well, why would that be the case? Don't they want the game to look good and play good? No, they don't really care. Why? Because they have already sold 15 million plus copies of the game. You see, if you crap in a box and mark it as gold and people buy that, it doesn't really matter what happens next because you've already got their money. Some people will live with it because they've spent their money and they'll try to justify these things within their own head and say, hey, you know what? This box of crap is actually really cool and I really got my money's worth out of it. Sure, it's a little rough around the edges, but I still enjoy it for what it is. And then some people will just quietly dismiss the situation because they don't want to feel a bit slighted by the company that they love, someone that's always been there for them. Now all of a sudden it's just greedy and taking their money from them. But they're gonna fix it. Things are gonna get better. It's like an abusive relationship. You tell yourself over and over again that he's gonna change or she's gonna change when they're never gonna change. They're never going to change unless they're given a reason to change. And even then, sometimes they don't change. Nintendo and the Pokemon Company said that they were going to fix this game. They never did. Sure, they still released the DLC for the game. Stop. Just hold the presses here, folks. All right, we got to get this DLC out. All right, we got to make more money because we're charging people for this DLC. And did the DLC fix any of these issues, or did more issues arise? Every review that I've read for this DLC pretty much says the same sort of thing over and over again. Performance is sometimes worse than the base game. This is not a small independent company. This is not a small franchise. We're dealing with the largest franchise in the world, in the universe, as far as generating money and revenue. And you could say, well, it's from the cards, it's from the plushes, it's from this, that, or the other. What do all of those things have in common? They're contingent on the video game. Without the video game, there are no cards. There are no plushies. There are no movies. There's no universe for Pokemon. Yet we're still spoon-fed mediocrity at best from them. Sure, there's been highlights. Pokemon Legends Arceus, I thought, was a really solid game and made me interested in the future of Pokemon. It used a bit of a different graphical style. It ran a lot better than a lot of games from the Pokemon Company did, and it looked like a bright future for a side project. If they're doing that with the side project, well, then the main course must be amazing. It's like going to a restaurant. You have a banging appetizer, and then the waitress brings out the dinner, and it's a single pea. A green bean, maybe a half-eaten piece of cornbread. Where's the meat? Where's the potatoes? Where's the rest of this? Not there. It's not there. And you could blame cycles of the games. You could blame they have to get it out before this happens and that happens. But everything is contingent on the games themselves. If the games don't exist, nothing else exists. And if we're going to hold companies to a higher standard because of their success, if we're going to sit there and bash things like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, which is one of the most half-baked games I've played in a very, very long time, you need to keep that consistency. But a lot of Nintendo fans won't do that. A lot of Pokemon fans won't do that. Pokemon YouTubers, they're not going to talk. You know why Pokemon YouTubers aren't going to talk about the negatives? Because they want the kids to come in and watch their little Pokemon Let's Plays and how to find all the shinies and how to do this, that, or the other. They're 10-hour walkthroughs and stuff like that. So little kids come in and watch these videos and they make money. That's the fact of the matter. That's why these big Pokemon channels don't address the issues and don't call out these companies for lying, blatantly lying to them, because it affects their pocket. If you're all negative, the little kids aren't going to watch that. Little kids don't want to hear that. They're just used to it now. They're accepting of this mediocrity. And as those kids get older, they'll still be accepting of that mediocrity because nobody sits there and tells them, hey, this sucks, man. This should be so much better. There's so much potential with all of the money and revenue that is generated by the Pokemon Company year after year after year, with the rises of technology and stuff like that. I get it. You only made handheld games as far as the mainline stuff is concerned. At some point in time, you have to evolve. With the amount of capital you have, you could have offices all around the world where there's an office in one time zone, an office in another time zone, where everyone's working together to make this the biggest and best possible project. But no, do the bare minimum, then you lie. You lie. And this lie is on Nintendo's hands too, because they came out and said, hey, there's going to be, we're going to make sure that they fix the performance of this game. And really the performance has just gotten worse over time. And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that people are so afraid to call it out because, oh, this person might dislike my video or leave me a mean comment or unsubscribe from my channel. Who cares? Who cares? You're the person. All these individuals who said they were going to call it out, all of them are dead silent. They're all dead silent. It's been a year. It's time to face the facts. This game is never getting fixed. Even if the Nintendo Switch 2 is backwards compatible, even if it is, it's not going to fix this damn game because there are core problems with this game that are in the game itself. Within the programming itself. You can't brute force this to be a magical game. Sure, you could change the resolution, you can make it look a little sharper, but it's still going to run like ass. But people just accept it. Do you think there's going to be a drop off with the next mainline Pokemon game or a side game, or sales automatically going to go down? No. Because people are just preconditioned to accept mediocrity or worse with this. Expect more. Demand more. All right? Nintendo used to be at the cutting edge of stuff. I get it. That's not their business model anymore. But when, tons and tons of third-party games absolutely dwarf the visual style and the scope of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet in terms of an open world aesthetic, it's time to demand some answers. And really, it's time to wonder, why did this company lie to us over a year ago, never fix a damn thing, never address it again? Because I should be wrapping this video up, but that all these little interviewers that get to talk with Doug Bowser or so-and-so at Nintendo, they're going to brown nose. How's Nintendo doing? Is everything going good? Nobody asks the hard-hitting questions anymore. Everyone's afraid to bring up the hard-hitting questions. Instead of addressing problems that actually exist, they talk about problems that don't exist. Like, oh, there's too many busty women in video games. Like, who gives a shit? Does the game run good? Does the game play good? Is it fun? I don't care if I'm playing as a sponge with a penis. As long as the game's good and it plays good and it's a fun game, that's all that matters. But no. Modern games journalism. Protect Insomniac at all costs. I see y'all talking about those GTA 5 leaks, though, that were done nefariously, because how else would you get the source code? But that's a discussion for another day. Just wanted to vent a little bit, I wanted to air my grievances. It is Festivus when I'm filming this, so, or actually, no. Festivus was what, the 23rd? I don't know what I'm saying here. It's late at night, but I wanted to make this video, because it's been over a year. Nothing has been answered. Nobody's demanding answers. Well, damn it. The RGT community demands answers. Let me know what you think of this in the comments section down below. And as always, guys, thank you for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. We're almost at 490,000 subs, which means we're almost at 500,000 subs, which I would like to hit early next year. Hopefully we can do it together. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.